Hello Internet, back again with another Axe-Fx II factory preset demo. If you saw my other video, we went over the Fuchs ODS2 Overdrive Special, and I'm focusing on the clean to lower gain, mid gain, crunch type amps as opposed to the high gain stuff. Mainly that's where I live as far as the tones I use these days, and also just because there's so much of the high gain stuff out there, and I think it's created kind of like a misconception that that's what the Axe is best at, and that's what it's more suited for. It's just not true. It really excels at everything, and I'm kind of on a mission to show that, so hopefully I am. I was going back and forth with a few different presets to try this time around, and I kind of got stuck on one of my favorites, so I'm going to go ahead and import it here. We're going to the Axe Factory Presets, Bank A, which is pretty much the bread and butter amp and cab presets. And we're going to go over here to Factory Preset 40, Buttery, which is based on a Budda Twinmaster. Now, you see the grid was populated now with all the different blocks. Now, if you're not familiar with Edit or the Axe, only the ones that are highlighted are engaged. Some of the factory presets only have a couple of blocks. Some have this, whole thing lined up, but none of them are really programmed in. I don't really know why. I'm guessing they just had a template that they, worked off of and just disengaged the ones that, didn't need to be heard. So, obviously you see amp, cab, delay, and reverb are all engaged. We will also kick in the drive here in a little while, but we'll come back to that. Let's go check out the amp, some details on the amp and cab real quick. Going over here to Safari, I already have the wiki pulled up. The Buttery is based on a Budda Twinmaster. It's a late 90s amp, relies mostly on power amp distortion. It's EL84 powered. Recommended speakers are G12M or G12Hs, which I believe are Celestion greenbacks. I'm not a speaker expert. I know what I like, but I don't know what they all are by number designation. On the original amp, the only controls are bass, treble, and volume, so obviously a really straight ahead circuit. Now if you look down at point number 7 over here, it says in the Generation 1 model, Cliff just did it by ear. He listened to some clips of Budda's and tweaked until he thought it sounded like one. I don't know if since then he has, I don't know if he's mimicked it and, with a schematic and a real amp and all that stuff. But either way, the amp sounds great. As far as speakers go, now, you saw that it recommended Celestion like greenbacks, but here in this factory preset, here in this factory preset, it's a stereo cab, which if you watched the last video, I stated I really don't use those very often, but it sounds great on this preset, and my goal is to really highlight how good factory presets can sound. And so this is a stereo cab. On the left-hand side, a 2x12 Santiago with EJ1250s in it. On the right side, it's a 2x12 Class A 30-watt blue mix, which if you know anything about anything, that is going to be 63 Vox AC30 with two 12-inch Jensen blue Onico speakers. I'm not a big blue fan. I think they're too boxy and have a weird upper mid thing going on. But that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people love them. I know that's probably kind of like blasphemous to say. On the other side, that Santiago is it's a 2x12 Fender closed back with 12-inch Eminence EJ1250 speakers in it. Now, maybe the reason it sounds so good is this closed back Fender with these speakers. Maybe it's scooped enough where it's kind of offsetting the the upper mid kind of weird boxiness that I think the blues have. But whatever the reason, it sounds great. So if we go back to the amp block and look, see the controls are pretty much noon, bass, mid, treble. Master volumes at about 5.5. Input drives at almost 7. Boost, cut, fat, and bright are all disengaged. Now, honestly, if I were dialing this amp in from scratch, I would probably go with a higher master volume and back the input drive down. That's just me. But I like the power amp section to work harder. But again, I'm not messing with these presets at all. We're going as is. So that's the setup. Let's get into how it sounds. Today we're just going to do one guitar. I used two last time. One just because I thought the type of amp you deserve to hear it with humbuckers. And maybe this one as well, but confession, I broke a string right before I started recording and didn't feel like changing it. So today it's just the Telly Thursday, since I'm recording this one on Thursday. But all stock Fender Highway 1. This is kind of my workhorse. I love this guitar. Like I said, everything stock, pickups, electronics. So let's go ahead and, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening with my throat. But I won't have to give you as much like in between volume positions. I'll give you wide open and then back it off a little bit in each pickup position just so you can hear it. So this is the bridge wide open. Backed off a bit. Here's the middle wide open. Middle backed off a bit. Neck wide open. And then the neck backed off. So, I mean, probably from that you can already tell it's a pretty dynamic amp. I mean, wide open bridge, you know, hitting it pretty hard. If you just back off a little bit and play softer. So, you know, you can get it to clean up quite a bit. Now, the one thing that I love about this amp, and I hope that I'll be able to demonstrate through this you know, little demo here, is how not only how versatile it is, but how dynamic it is and how much it reacts to your playing. I really love the way this amp feels. It's a very like spongy feeling amp, and that may sound like a weird term, but if you play guitar and you've played into an amp that has that kind of saggy, spongy feeling, I think you'll know what I mean. But not in a bad way. It's not loose or flabby or anything like that. It's just it feels like it kind of really like has a bounce to it when you play it, if that makes sense. So it can cover everything from country to, you know, blues to jangly, like, you know, alt rock, pop rock type stuff, to with the right you know, drive in front of it, you can get some pretty big tones out of it as well. Let's just go through a few things. Here's the neck pickup, volume wide open. You know, like I said, it can do the blues stuff really good. I don't have a Strat with me. If I had a Strat, I could probably really get some cool Mayer tones out of it. But, you know, it does those tones really well. I know I did some Mayer in the last video, but oh well. Or even like... Now if we can move to the bridge pickup, you kind of get that in-between thing. So yeah, I mean, you can get that really kind of cool in between sound. And then you go to the bridge. That's a pretty nice crunch sound right there, so you can get some, you know. Or taking you back. picking style and maybe the volume a little bit, you can get your volume, you know, a little bit. You can get some pretty cool, like almost clean arpeggiated stuff, like or like so yeah, I mean, obviously, or sorry, I didn't. How can I not do a little? So yeah, 1,000 really bad notes later, you kind of get the idea. But it does, you know, all those, you know, kind of tones really well. So yeah, I think it does that country thing really well. Even though I was playing some pretty funky licks right there, and not in a good way. So we're gonna kick in the overdrive here, just so you can hear that. The stock preset has an 808. I'm not an 808 person at all. I prefer something a little more transparent. I don't like the tube screamer thing. But again, I'm not changing anything, so we'll kick it in. And here it is with the overdrive. So yeah, you're gonna get the idea. So obviously, you know, with that, you know, just between the regular amp tone and this drop tone, you could really cover a lot of ground live if you wanted to, but maybe not quite enough gain for shredding, but close. So anyway, that's the Buttery preset, Axe-Fx II, Fractal audio. No tweaking, nothing, just, you know, if you bought one of these, plugged it in and went to that preset, that's what it would sound like, give or take your playing style and pickups and guitar, etc., etc. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button, leave me a comment, tell me if you liked it, tell me if you thought it sucked. I can handle either one, although I prefer to hear the good stuff. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also if you want to go check out my blog, it's www.thedotted8th.wordpress.com. You know, come over there and check some stuff out. And again, thanks for watching. See you next time.